You hear them all? Oh, they're like, oh, 37, 10, and 6. He's back. Come on now. Listen, people. I'm watching ESPN. I'm hearing all this stuff about LeBron James, how great he is, how he's taking no prisoners this year. He's dominating. He took over that game. Did it surprise anybody? I've seen this for 7 years in Cleveland. In a non-big game, he'll do this. I've seen it for 7 years in Cleveland. Did it surprise me he had a dominant game? No. But where was this performance in the finals last year when the Heat needed them? Where was it? Was nowhere to be found. Didn't even want the ball in game 5 now, did he? So I ask you, why does he so-called, how come after the offseason he becomes a dominant player? No, he's the same player. He did this for 7 years in Cleveland. Anyone that's a LeBron James fan or Cavalier fan will tell you that. And now, welcome to the ship, or welcome aboard, Miami Heat fans, because you're finding out the hard way. He's going to have great games up until the playoffs starts. Then he'll have some more good games. And then, if they get to the finals, he's going to be trying to muster enough strength to have a big game. But you know what? It's going to seize up here and seize up here or down here. He's not going to be able to do it. See, what happens sometimes to athletes, now there's no denying LeBron James is the greatest basketball talent that we're ever going to see on a basketball court. You can't deny that. You can't tell me there's no one physically with gifted tools as LeBron James has ever played this game. No. Michael Jordan, no. Kobe Bryant, no. LeBron has them all, but he doesn't have this. He doesn't have this. That's why it will never, and he probably will never win a title. See, what happened to LeBron James is he wanted to acquire a title so bad. He knows he don't have that killer instinct. So what did he do? You can't buy that. You can't buy that. You can't buy killer instinct. So what he did, he went to do the next best thing. He thinks in his little mind that I'm going to go ride Dwayne Wade's coattail. And what happened last year? Tried riding it. And at some points, in some juncture in them games, it looked like Dwayne Wade wasn't even broke down. It looked like he was just like, help me, help me. And LeBron just couldn't do it. He looked disinterested. Game 5 against Boston. Anyone remember that? In Cleveland. This is what happens to a certain, I'm going to say a small percentage of athletes that have a lot of talent, but they just don't have it. They don't have it, what it is to be great. And unfortunately, if you Miami Heat fans, you're starting to realize this. There is no way, and you can take this to the bank. You can remember this. There is no way LeBron James will ever win a title in the NBA, no matter who he plays with. Because in a big game, sure, he's going to have some big games. He had some great games against Detroit a couple years ago when he was with the Cavaliers. But in the big game, biggest moment, biggest stage ever, he's going to and he's going to have to rely on Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade cannot carry that team alone. Believe me when I tell you. So did it surprise me LeBron James went 37, 10, and 6? Absolutely not. I've seen the man dominate. But I've also seen him shrink in big games. And what you Miami Heat fans are going to come accustomed to for the next 3 or 4 years, or however long it is until you boom out of that city. And then I hear he's probably going to want to, maybe he'll come back to Cleveland. No, look, we don't need you. We don't need you. All right? And then there's going to be some people out there saying, I'm just a disgruntled Cavalier fan. Guess what? I don't even like basketball. Although I did watch him when he was here. It gave me something to do. But I can care less who wins the title. I don't care if the Heat ever win it. I don't care if the Mavericks ever win it. I heard they won it last year. I don't care. I don't care about basketball. I'm a football fan. It don't get any worse than the Cleveland Browns right now at this juncture, all junctures. But anyway, so for all these people out there saying LeBron James, did you see him dominant? Look, regular season game means nothing. In the playoffs, when it counted most, what did LeBron James do last year? He disappeared. Dwayne Wade, even Chris Bosh, although he had 4 points yesterday, he's a horrible player, whatever, he played terrible. Even Chris Bosh tried his little heart out last year, and to no avail. LeBron James just sat there like, well, I'm going to come back in the offseason, whatever, whatever. So it does not surprise me. He's going to have many great games, but at the end of the day, if you really need to rely on one player, you better rely on Dwayne Wade, because if you need to put all your marbles on LeBron James, you're going to go down big time. The media acts like this guy's changed in the offseason. It's a regular season game. We've seen it for 7 years in Cleveland. He does this all the time. He's going to have some dominant performances. But as soon as the game's on the line, where's he at? Well, he will have some good games when the game's on the line. He had Detroit game. Scored 27 of the last 29 points. Great performance. I got to take my hat off to him. But What happened the next game? We went home for the deciding Game 5 in Cleveland to go to the finals or to advance in the playoffs. And what happened? He scored 8 points at home. Pistons won. They went to the finals. So then, forgot about that one, didn't we? Forgot about it. Took over the Detroit Pistons series a couple years ago, right? Scored 27 of the last 28 points for the Cavaliers. The following game, Game 5, the decisive game in that whoever wins that goes to the finals or the next round, whatever. What did he do? Scored 8 points in Cleveland. At home. We lost. So what does that tell you? Big moment. Some hombres shrink. If they don't get it now, they never will. Maybe in 10 years down the road when they got one title because of Dwayne Wade, what's his name? Shaquille O'Neal.